Hi guys, so we're going to do a review on this big beast. This is basically a new quadcopter. It's called the Alien Quadcopter or Alien Copter. You can check it out on aliencopter.com. And basically they sell the frame with a brushless camera gimbal for the GoPro 2 or 3 with the motors and the controller, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that in a minute. Alright, we wanted to have a look at the overall frame. I'm basically, I've got this set up on a 4S setup. I've got a Hobbywing Platinum 3 amp ESCs. I've got these 570 kV motors, which are 4822 motors. I've tried different propeller setups. So far the 1447 inch work the best, carbon fiber. And I'm using the DJI NASA version 2 with a GPS sitting on the back over here. Alright, as you can see, this is a very unique design. It comes with a lot of stuff with it. Actually, you have a very nice power distribution board here. I'll also talk a little bit more about that now. There's a voltage regulator here, which is great because if you're using a 4S setup and you want to get the power from your board, you need to decrease that voltage down to 12 volts or less depending on the board you're using. This board, it was specified 9 volts or less, so I lowered it down to about 8.7 volts just in case of any sparks. Also, the battery sits in the back, and the transmitter, if you're running FPV, also sits in the back over here. They supply you with wire that goes right through, and the adapter for the GoPro 3. Okay, so that's sitting over here already. Alright, if you need GoPro 2 adapter, then you're going to have to get that separately. Now this is folded, obviously. This would not fly as it is. This is folded. I'm going to open it up very simply. Unclips like that. You would take these bolts and put them through and tighten them through to tighten these on all four a little bit better. Now, let me just show you this thing open so you can see what it looks like. Okay, now the front arms have legs on them to stabilize it, and the rear, in the rear by the battery, you also have a leg to stabilize it. Now, just to show you something, there is quite a bit of flex. Okay, if you had to look at this entire frame, there's a bit of flex in it from this design, and the designers actually said that they wanted, or that flex is actually there for a reason, because it gives it a much different feel when you're flying it. Also, the weight distribution, the design of it, they say is when you yaw, it's closer to a tricopter type feel of yaw, so it gives you a very interesting video footage due to that flight dynamics, and it is pretty cool the way that works. Now, just very quickly, it depends where you look, because some places say they used a 5,000 milliamp 4S battery, others say they use a 10,000 milliamp or two 5,000s. So far I've used only a 5,200 milliamp battery. I'm going to use two of them and see how it works. You definitely need the more powerful motors and the bigger props, because altogether this weighs about 2.3 kgs or so, which is about like about 6 pounds. No, a bit less than that, probably closer to 5 pounds. But anyways, it's very well designed. Carbon fiber is not cheap. It's very good quality carbon fiber. Now a few things though. Okay, firstly, when I got mine, the manual, and it's still in the same state, is horrible. Okay, this thing comes completely disassembled, but the packaging is amazing. Okay, absolutely amazing. You know, everything is placed in separate bags. Everything is labeled, so you can check if anything is missing, which I did, and there was some things missing. There were a few parts missing, which was a bit of a shame, but you know, the guy sent it out to me very quickly after that. Alright, so that's one thing. The biggest problem is the manual is so bad that it's very difficult to put this thing together. So for a beginner, I would very, very highly not recommend this, because firstly, it is very difficult to put together, and secondly, to set it up is not that easy either. Okay, it does not fly like a normal quad. It is not as stable as a normal quad. Now, when I say that, it's not that it's not stable, but I can promise you that the setup of it to get it perfect is a lot more difficult than a standard quad, because of the weight distribution. Okay, now what they have here, which is very clever, is for your IMU, this thing sits on these little rubber or the stand with the rubber parts on it, just like your brushless gimbal, just smaller ones, so it takes away any vibration away from there. So with the NASA, it's actually extremely stable, and you'll see that in the flight. However, because of the weight distribution, when you go forward and you would stop, or you would want to go backwards, it tends to have this almost a slight wavy effect, and it doesn't matter how much you play with the gain settings on the NASA for pitch, it just does not seem like it's perfectly locked in. I mean, it works great, but it's not perfect because of that weight distribution being so different, even though the CG sits pretty much, well, sits in the center. Now with the roll, perfect. With the yaw, also perfect. So it's really just the pitch that you got to get used to that. Now, getting onto this brushless gimbal setup, the motors are great, very powerful. For a brushless gimbal, sets up great for the GoPro, very good quality. This controller is the Alex Moss controller, so absolutely top quality. So just those two things alone are already going to run you close to $200 to $300. It's closer to $300 because this is the Alex Moss controller, and it's a very high quality brushless gimbal with the motors. So just those things are there. Now the overall price for this runs between $360 to $400 for the frame. Okay, which comes with that controller, with the power distribution board, which is about $20, and the motors and the brushless gimbal, all this carbon fiber. So the price is absolutely brilliant for that. This is why it's not an entry level setup, because it's going to be more expensive than your normal cheap $30 frames, which could work great. The nice thing with this is, as you can see from the arms sitting so far back over here, the video that you catch is going to have absolutely nothing except what's in front of it, and you're going to have no propellers, no nothing in front of it. Alright, so that's a huge plus on that. I'm going to show you a few clips from this GoPro camera and from an outside camera showing this thing flying. I've been flying it very, very easily. This is definitely not a fast flyer, okay, and as they suggested, this can be set up for FPV, although I've not flown at FPV yet because I'm still getting used to the flight dynamics of this model. Alright, but that's pretty much the review on this. If you guys need any help regarding this specific quadcopter, you can leave it in the comments or send me a mail or anything with that regard. Also the settings on the NASA also can be a bit difficult to get perfect, so you can just give me a shout. I can tell you I've not been able to get the Ardu Pilot APM to work on this quadcopter perfectly. It's a little bit more complex to set up. I've had it set up on other quadcopters, but this one, I think because of its dynamics, it's a little bit more difficult to get 100% perfect with that one. However, with the NASA, the prices have dropped quite a bit on these ones. You can pick up the version 2 with the GPS for about $270, $300 at the most. That's with the GPS. You can get the version 1, not the Lite, the version 1 for $170, $180, and that's shipped. So with those prices, I would stick with the NASA compared to the Ardu Pilot, especially if you don't want to mess with the software. Yep, so have a look at the video of this thing flying. Don't forget to leave your comments, questions, anything below, and don't forget to subscribe. We're going to have a lot more reviews and help sessions with different types of quads, helis, planes, cars, everything. Alright, anything RC. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.